What's happening? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. This is Jay Moore, your healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life on an awesome and incredible day. And just a quick reminder, guys, Living Life on the Next Level is available on Amazon. You want to check this out. You can grab this on Amazon. If you have an Amazon account, you know that you'll get free shipping. Also, if you would like a copy from me with my signature in it, with me leaving you a note, you can leave a message here in the comments that says next level. If you say next level in the comments, I will DM you so that you can get an autographed copy from me, Living Life on the Next Level with Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, 7 principles that has helped me to develop personal leadership. This is what has led me to develop personal leadership. All right, guys. So what are we talking about? I decided for the whole year, for the rest of the year, the only thing I'm talking about is the only thing I'm going to be talking about are the principles in this book. I just said that, you know what? This is who I am. This is what I've accomplished. This is what I personally created. And I said, I'm going to talk about these principles in this book. And so change is really the first principle. And so as I was driving home from the gym this morning, what I discovered, I said, man, I need to go further in. Like we need to go deep, 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 deep. We need to go deep, 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 deep on the same topic. That's something that I haven't done. So I'm going to go deep. We're going to go deep on change and the awareness of change. Have you ever thought about, have you ever thought about things you don't know? Think about it. Have you thought about things you don't know, like things that you want to know, or have you ever sat down and said, you know what, man, what could I know that I should know, or what could I know that I want to know, or what worse, like what do I know that I need not know? See, I've heard one scholar say that a lot of times the things that we don't get the things in our life, not because we don't know something, it's because of what we do know that's keeping us from it. It's what we do know that's keeping us from it. I've been on this change kick, and I've been on this, development and become better, for the past 10 years. 10 years. Yeah, I'm on an anniversary. 10 years. 10 years this month is the month that I started my health journey back in 2014, 10 years ago. And as I was reflecting on that yesterday or the day before, I was like, I'm like, wow, it's been 10 years already. Man, that happened fast. Imagine this. 10 years has already happened. So that means I was 42, 52 now. Wow. I don't know that I fast forwarded to 52 to be like, oh, how am I going to be when I'm 52? How am I going to be when I'm 45? No, I didn't. I just things just kept going. And this awareness of change, a lot of times it's just coming under the understanding that, wait a second, at any time in my life, I can make a change in my life. At any time in my life, I can do something different. At any time in my life, I can say, you know what, I can shift from this place to that place. At any time in as the clock is still ticking, which is a construct, which is not necessary. Well, I'm not gonna get there. But if the clock is still ticking, I can make a shift into a new direction. And as I thought about this morning, I was just like, what is the awareness? What is the awareness that I should have about all the stuff that I don't know? What is the awareness that I should have about the stuff that I do know? And that's probably where I want to land today. The stuff that I do know, how is that affecting me? Did you know all of us are walking around with generational ideas within us? When I say generational ideas, I'm not talking about, oh, great stuff. I'm talking about generational in the past, your past. So we may have 15 generations of our ancestors living in ourselves today. What if I told you that was true? Now, you don't know that it's true because that may be the first time you heard it. So you should go research, figure out, does Jay know what he's talking about? Hey, look, I find things out based on the things that I want to know. I want to know about me. So if I want to know about me, here's how I know that it's true that there's 15 generations or more, could be more or less, but I know that it's true because back in probably 20, I don't know if it was it's probably 2019. I can't remember the exact date. I was on a run. I was on a run. I'm running and I was coming down the hill in my development. That's a rough hill. Coming down the hill and something came over me and says, now you know, this is what your grandfather dealt with. This is what your father dealt with. I said, huh? Here's here's what the awareness was telling me. Things that I had dealt with in my life. These were the same things my grandfather and my father and even their fathers had dealt with in their life. And I did not have any conversations with them to find out or to know that that was true. And I stopped. I was on that run and I stopped. I said, what? Says, yeah, this is what's causing this. This is what, was happening to you, or this is why this has happened. And it will continue to happen because you don't have an awareness of all the things that affect you. Well, I can go a little bit further. As a black man in this country, we all have ties to to the period when there was slavery. We all have, like even black women, we all have ties to that. Imagine if imagine just being able to tap into, well, what was the mindset of the slaves? Do you think that's still in you? It's there in yourselves. Those are some of the reasons why we act certain way, because those cells are still in us. So our DNA is affected by things that happened hundreds of years ago. And then we want to understand, well, why are we dealing with this and why are we dealing with that? And why can't I be successful? Why is it that things already always mess up? I did something. I did something over the past 2 days that I'm kicking myself for. And I realized, I says, wow, not understanding the awareness of maybe how my father, the one before and the one before and the one before thought, me not having a clear awareness of something affected decisions that I was making. Like the decisions that you want to make, you don't make them. And then you're like, well, dang, I didn't make that decision. Why didn't I make that decision? And then I looked, I says, wow, just it's because, and I'll get a little more detail. Um, you should be doing something, and yet you don't do it. So, all right, the awareness to know what to change, because I can like I can go on and on. See, because I'm gonna focus on these principles every single day because they're so powerful. Change is so powerful. Concentration is another one, which is actually chapter 3 in the book, and concentration. Another word for focus. I just wanted to use the C word. That's deep, you know, knowing what to change and then concentrating on what change you want, or concentrating on what you should be doing, or concentrating on where you should be going, concentrating on how you should be doing something and what you should be thinking about and where you should not be going. Like concentration is huge. And many of us have a hard time concentrating. But here's the thing. We're concentrating on the wrong stuff. That's what we're doing. Concentrating on the wrong stuff. You know, it's interesting, right? I want to put this book up again because I'm in awe that I'm on a book title, that I'm on a book cover. I'm in awe of that. Um, I'm in awe that there's 140, 150 pages in this book, 151 pages. I'm in awe of that. I'm in awe that there's something that I personally said and experienced that can shift the person's mindset to find their purpose. Like, I'm in awe of that. You know, growing up, in Newark, New Jersey. We lived in two different apartments, one on 77 Orton Street. That was on the north side of Newark. And then on 122 South 7th Street, which was on the, you know, it was actually on the west side. It says South 7th Street, but it was on the west side of Newark because West Side High School was literally the high school that was closest to our home or the place that we live. I can't even call it a home. It was just somewhere that we lived. And when I think about the time period, I'm going to go back to 122. No, I'm going to go all the way back to 77 Overton Street. That was in the 70s. I lived there from 1971, October 1971, until 1981, 82. We moved not too long after Joe. So that Joe was born in 81. So we probably moved in 82. So I'm 11 years old, somewhere around 11. And we moved, but I want to go back to 77 Orange Street. Here's why I'm going back, just like you can do this as well. Our minds are created in such a way that we can experience things in our life at any time we want. You can go back to time periods in your life. You can say, hey, well, what was I doing? What was I doing at 4 years old? I remember a specific time at 4. Hey, what was I doing at 7 or 8? What was I doing? And I remember Joe being born and he was a brand new baby. And like, Joe was lucky to be alive. He's lucky to be alive because of an era that I personally made, just having a good time. Little kid, we're about to go to the store, we're having a good, and, I put him in, I'm helping mom. He's in the, what I put him in. There was no car seats back then, but I put him in the stroller, but I didn't strap him in. And so we're playing around, me, him. It was just me and him. Maybe Reggie was out there too. It's not strapped in, and I'm going down. There's steps. So we've got the steps to come out of the house. Those steps were kind of like rubber and wood. And then the last set of steps, all concrete. I made it down the steepest flight. And then when I got to the concrete, we're going down. And he fell out head first. That was one of the worst days of my life. You know what's crazy? My mom didn't go off on me. She did not go off on me. See, why am I telling you this story? And I'm going to stop it there. Here's why. When we come under the awareness of what we need to know about our life, we can change. See, because if we don't come under the awareness of what we should change, then how can you change it? So by coming under awareness, I heard another scholar say this, another doctor who said this. He says, it's when you come under the awareness of what to do or even what not to do, that's when you'll be successful. That's when you'll break through. It's the awareness of the thing that makes it all possible. Because if I'm not aware of it, I'm going to be blinded by it every single day. Here's what I can take from that mistake that I made when I was 10 years old. Is that just because it feels good doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Doesn't mean you should do it. If it feels good, I should pay attention more. I should say, wow, it feels good. What do I need to know about this? Is there any safety precautions? Is there anything I should be thinking about? Because it's nothing like things that feel good. See, things that feel good can catch us off guard. And they catch us off guard because we like to feel good. But Is the feeling of good going to destroy my life? Me not strapping Joseph into that stroller that day could have destroyed our lives in a way that he could have died. He was an infant. Joseph was an infant. That was like May, June of 1982. I remember because within about a week, me and my brother went to the World's Fair in Knoxville, Tennessee. And Joseph had just gotten hurt maybe a couple of weeks before. Just because it feels good, that's when I should pay more attention. I should be like, oh, shoot, this feels good. Oh, this feels right. Oh, wait a second. What should I be paying attention to? See, because many of us, we're throwing our lives away on things that feel good. We're saying, oh, this feels good, so I should keep doing it. It feels good. It feels good. And then what's going to happen is at one point in our life, we're going to say, well, I really want this in my life. And we're going to look at the mountain of things that felt good and how we did these things that felt good, but it led us to a place where we don't feel good about ourselves. That's called the easy, hard principle. Jim Rohn said, if you do the things that are easy, your life will be hard. But if you do the things that are hard, your life will be easy. So just by shifting how we look at a situation, this feels good. Let me shift how I'm thinking about feeling good. So I can say, oh, what do I need to understand about this? Is there something that's going to catch me off guard at some point in my life? Is there something about this thing that is probably not working for my good? What do I need to know? Now, if after I go through all of my checks to make sure that this thing that feels good leads me to where I ultimately want to be with my life, if it's in my marriage, if it's in my health, if it's in my finances, if it's in my business, if these things lead me to where I ultimately want to be, then I'm going to keep doing it. Otherwise, if it doesn't, then I knew that was a distraction. Now I'm more aware of what I need to know to change, because now I've actually taken the time to look at something that I wasn't aware of that I'm now aware of. See, the awareness to know what to change starts with having an awareness of looking at everything that potentially might need to change. Everything, not just the bad stuff, even the good. Even the good stuff might need to be changed. Guys, this is all based on the concept of living life on the next level. And it's based on the first principle of change. And we're going to continue this conversation because I believe that, one, I personally I'm going to need a breakthrough from my own writings, and also look if there's anything that you can get out of this. If there's anything that it helps you with, let me know in the comments. Also, if you would like an autographed copy of this book, you can get it by commenting Next Level. Or if you want to go grab it on Amazon, you can go grab it on Amazon as well. So guys, living life on the next level, discovering a simple path of personal leadership. That's Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, because I help people like you account for your life, their business, and everything else. God bless you guys. I will see you on the next episode. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.